What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Ace Attorney Investigations. Last time we investigated the hallway, and in our minds we were able to uncover that Gumshoe bought something from a vending machine, sat down and ate, which is why the judge wouldn't have seen the detective in the hallway. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's what we've just pointed out to the judge. Not happy with committing just murder, he had to go and dirty the courthouse too? Guilty! Your Honor, please shut the up. While it's true that the detective is the one who made the mess on the bench, we have not yet established that this action is related to the double murder. What do you mean? I believe that the detective bought a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine, and then promptly sat down on the bench to eat one. The cake crumbs and pieces of chocolate on the floor under the bench, and Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints prove my conclusion to be true. Oh, but I still don't understand. Is this whole thing related to how I couldn't see him as I was leaving the restroom? It is indeed! The window in the hallway was built rather high up into the wall, at around a grown adult's chest height. As evidence, I submit that Franziska herself was unable to see out that window. Wow, that was really delayed. I knew I shouldn't have used her height as evidence. Basically, what this means is that the area directly under the hallway window is a blind spot when the hallway is being viewed from the men's restroom. Then? It seems that you have made the connection. If someone were to sit on the bench under the window. Yes, even someone as large as Detective Gumshoe would effectively disappear from sight. What? Do you finally see, Your Honor? Your testimony has just proven that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway the entire time. Who said that? Sorry? I didn't mean to say it with that much enthusiasm. All I wanted to do was try to say it once. Let me try that again. Is there something of value that you'd like to say? Yes, actually there is. I remembered something else just now. Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to testify to the court one more time. Even if we overruled him, he'd just keep on talking, wouldn't he? That might not be a bad thing. The more info, the better in a perfect investigation, right? I suppose it's possible you can't see a seated person from a restroom window. That doesn't mean that the detective was sitting there when I looked. Anyway, I forgot to testify earlier about probably the most important detail. As I was leaving the restroom, I heard the loud bang of a gunshot. Oh, it's the balloon, all right. How was that? That is the testimony of one who judges the crimes of others. Your Honor, could you try to state the important facts first next time? I agree. Before you go around judging others, you should learn to judge your own words. Sorry. But honestly, I thought that sound was just the noise popper until just now. Now that he mentions it, right before we restarted the trial, he did talk about that. Oh, by the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? I could have sworn that I heard a popper going off. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. The most critical point in this argument is when did the judge look into the hallway? Woo! And whether that lines up with when the gun was actually fired. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to clarify a few details in your testimony. Why can't I just go straight for the balloon? Can't I just go straight for the balloon? I suppose it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom window. Hold it! Bum, 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 bum. In that case, do you concede that you were overconfident in your last testimony? Now hold on there! I just said that it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom this time. But you know something? I don't think you know when the prints you referenced were left on that bench, do you? While you have proven that it's possible, the detective was sitting. I still have a problem with just when those fingerprints were left. He's right. I have yet to prove when the fingerprints were left on the bench. While he feigns ignorance, His Honor has seen a lot of life. This judge, I mustn't underestimate him. Oh, you can. That doesn't mean that the detective was sitting there when I looked.
Hold it.
As we established, you went to the restroom during the recess. At what point in the recess did you look into that hallway? After I called for a recess, I handled the change of prosecutor paperwork. Maybe about 20 minutes until we reconvened? Yes, that sounds about right. But didn't Detective Bad say the gunshot was just at the end of the break? Just as I expected, not suspected, sorry. What were you expecting? I demand to know what that all-knowing smile is for. Your Honor, that statement you made just now is very important. I'd like for you to append it to your testimony. All right, if you insist. I looked into the hallway about 20 minutes before we blah, 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 blah. So maybe there's something here about Detective Bad? Like, did he actually give us that testimony? Heard the gunshot right? Yeah, there it is, okay.
Objection.
I cannot allow you to make an objection. What? Your honey, I'm really sorry, but I cannot allow you to not allow me to make an objection. Ooh, that was a weird statement. Egads, I've been overruled. Your honey, there are simply too many holes in your testimony for my taste. What do you mean by that? You claim that you heard the gunshot during the recess, but that is simply not possible. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Manfred von Instead of biting your that was fast. I see you have no mercy for the elderly either, Francisca. Don't talk back to me unless you want to be whipped in the back. With your height, you'd need a stepladder, or 4 to accomplish that. Ahem, Mr. Edgeworth. My ear's not that far gone yet. I'll have you know, I can still hear just fine. And I heard the sound of a gunshot loud and clear with my own 2 ears. Ha! Your Honor, I have here an interesting bit of testimony. It's from Detective Bad. And according to him, he heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start again. What did you just say? Your Honor, you just said that you heard the gunshot about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene. How do you explain this glaring contradiction? That can't be! Unfortunately, that is the truth. But I heard it clear as day. Bang! The loud sound of a gunshot. We keep returning to this point of contention. And that piece of evidence, I always did wonder why I found it where I did. Now I understand what that gunshot the judge heard really was. Unfortunately, your honey, this is what really produced the gunshot you heard. It's the balloon! It's the balloon! Oh no! Whoa, I almost presented the bonus. It was the bonus you heard!
Take that!
I found this object in the hallway earlier. What is that pink substance? It may not look like it, but this is actually a piece of a balloon. I see. And I suppose you would like me to accept that pink balloon into the court record? Your honey, I present this piece of evidence in order to overrule your testimony. If you guys have been wondering why I've been calling him your honey, it's because when I repeat something over and over again, it starts to drive me crazy, so I'm just finding any substitute for honor. So, right now it's apparently honey. Your honey, your argument goes as follows. You saw no one in the hallway when you heard the gunshot. Now, there is no guarantee that the detective was sitting on the bench at the time. Therefore, you believe he must have been at the crime scene, defendant lobby number 2. Am I correct? That's exactly right. Let me ask you something. Do you think that the gunshot you heard was produced by a real gun? I think I've said enough that even you can figure the rest out on your own. Your Honor, You were fooled by the popping of this balloon into thinking it was a gunshot. What manner of trickery is this? That was a good effort you put forth, Miles. But if it was me, I'd have wrapped this thing up before the judge even testified. Care to elaborate on how one ends something before it even begins? Well, to be honest, I did think that the sound was a bit off from a real gunshot sound. But who could have guessed that someone would pop a balloon in a place like this? That's true. One doesn't usually think of balloons in conjunction with courthouse. I want to trade these coins with you. That's it. That balloon that girl was holding, it explains everything. That explains everything. Your honey, if it makes you feel any better, you didn't lie once in your testimony. But I can't really vouch for its accuracy. Who knew that giving testimony could be such a difficult thing to do? What have I done? What have I done? I owe Detective Gumshoe a very big apology. I will see to it myself that he is released. Wait. There are still a few things I have yet to resolve about what happened in the hallway. I request your permission to further question Detective Gumshoe. But why? I thought we just cleared his name. Whether we did just now or not, I still cannot say. The only thing I can do for now is to continue in my quest for the perfect explanation. And to that end, I must resolve the remaining issues pertaining to the events that occurred in the hallway. Very well, bailiff. Please bring Detective Gumshoe into the torture chamber. I must fulfill my mission and find the perfect explanation to this case. I figured he'd be at the police station. I guess not. What is it now? Is it time for my trial already? I've already told you a gazillion times, pal. I didn't do it. I'll be the judge of that, Detective Gumshoe. No, you won't. I'll be the judge of that. No. I'm the judge around here, and I'll be the judge of that. Why can't you guys be a little less judgmental? Oh, what wit! Oh, Gumshoe. Well, speaking of hasty judgments, Detective Gumshoe, I'm afraid I must apologize for an error in judgment on my part. Your Honor, I don't believe you should apologize just yet. We have yet to prove he is completely innocent of this crime. I guess so. What are you guys talking about? In any case, I would like you to testify as to your actions while you're on guard duty. And please remember, you are not on trial. This is all just a part of the investigation. As such, you may still be found to be innocent. But if you should give false testimony... Yahoo! My whip will object loud and clear. If you are found to be lying, you will be held indefinitely. Understood? Gotcha, pal. Oh, poor Gumshoe, I want to give him a hug. Thinking back on the state of the crime scene and the judge's testimony, it's obvious that Detective Gumshoe is lying. And if I can't break his lie, then we may never get a break in this case. I came down here to this courthouse on Detective Bad's orders. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2. From that time on until I heard the gunshot, I was in the hallway the whole time. Bum, 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 bum. On my honor as a detective, I swear it wasn't me, pal. Only 4 statements, pretty good. He's still singing the same tired tune. In that case, I'll just have to change the melody. That was so lame, Edgeworth! I know he's lying, and it's time I pulled the information I need out of him. I came down here to this courthouse on Detective Bad's orders.
Hold it!
Boop, boop. Boom, 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 boom. So, was it really Detective Bad who called you down here? You bet it was, pal. I was left in charge of the precinct while everyone was out, and this call comes in. "I want you down here 1 minute flat," he said. Well, I thought this was my big chance. My first case, so I made a mad dash down here. Although I couldn't exactly get here in a minute flat. So how long did it take you? About 10 minutes, I guess? And what was Detective Bad doing when you finally made it? He was waiting for me down on the first floor in the entranceway, pal. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2.
Hold it!
And by he, you mean... Detective Bad, duh! And this being my first time at this courthouse. He also walked with me up to the 3rd floor hallway in front of the defendant lobbies. 3rd floor? 3rd floor? And did you meet anyone along the way? Well, just as we entered the hallway, we ran to Miss Yu. And when we heard from Miss Yu that Mr. Faraday was not to be interrupted, that's when Detective Bad told me to stand guard in the hallway, pal. So far, Detective Gumshoe's testimony is matching up with Detective Bad's. From that time on, until I heard the gunshot, I was in that hallway the whole time.
Hold it!
Bum, bum, bum. You claim to have been at that hallway the whole time. However, is it not a fact that you did something while you were in the hallway? Of course I did something! I guarded the door to lobby number 2, pal. What else? You were stuffing your face, that's what you were doing. Very well then. And what exactly does guarding that door entail? Well, to put it simply... Oh, I know. It was my job to stand in front of the door without moving an inch. Oh? Detective Gumshoe, you mean to tell me that you didn't take a single step away from the door to lobby number 2? Is that really what you wish to testify to the effect of? You got it, pal. I didn't take a single step away from that door just like I was ordered not to. Why is everyone so quiet all of a sudden? Because we know the truth. We know you're a lying sack of crap. Because we are all in shock and in awe of your utter stupidity. Scruffy, if you're gonna lie, at least tell us a more believable one. Yo! I've always wondered, how does Gumshoe stay so large when all he eats is like noodles? Like that's all, cup noodles. I guess he eats a lot, but he's so poor. I don't understand how he... I'll never know, I guess. Big bones. Genetics. I'm not lying. I should hurry up and bring this insipid testimony to a close. And until I heard the gunshot, I didn't take a single step away from lobby number 2 door. Oh, but we know you did. Oh, we know, because we've got the prints to show it.
Objection!
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have an objection. What is it, pal? Gumshoe, I wonder if you might recognize this delicious treat? One of these Hostess cakes? It's one of those things. What's that company that also makes a lot of those types of Little Debbie? I think that's it. Oh yeah, Little Debbie, and then there's Hostess. God, I haven't had one of those in years, since I was a kid. The courthouse special Swiss rolls, right, pal? Precisely. In that case, I suppose that you also recall the sullied hallway bench? You know what? I think it was probably me that did that. Detective Gumshoe, you know you can't go around dirtying up the courthouse like this. You inconsiderate, slovenly pig! With the trash patrol? I promise to clean it up later, I swear! Now then, shall we get down to business? About the fact that you didn't move even a single step from in front of that door. If that really were the case, then how were you able to buy a pack of Swiss rolls? Oh, we've got him now for buying Swiss rolls. Oh, you're going to jail, buddy. Oh, you're going to jail. Furthermore, if you didn't move a single step from in front of that door, how did you manage to get the bench dirty with your grubby hands? Youch! It appears that Francisca's whip can do more damage than my words alone can. Alright, I confess, pal. And with that being another 20 minutes, I'm gonna end this video here. So stay tuned for the next one, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!